Welcome to Chatter Hoochee. I'm Matt.
And I'm George, and this week we are talking all about the Lakeview gig that I was at this weekend.
My weekend in Kent at Roadhouse Unplugged.
And we're going to do a little deep dive onto the Rolling Stone top 100 albums and pick out all the country artists that have made it.
Not happy. Again. Sorry.
But you know what is making us happy?
Very happy.
Merch?
I know, do you like it?
I absolutely love it. Obsessed.
I I asked for G's address the other day and I was like, what's your address? And you were like, you coming for lunch or whatever?
Special book outlaw.
And I was like, yeah, on the way. But yeah, I just thought I'd surprise you with a little bit of merch to say, here we are, 65 country.
Thank you. So thank you so much. I love it.
Don't worry about it. This is my gift to you to say, here we are.
Does anyone want one?
Does anyone want one? I mean, yeah, we could do that. It's cheaper for us to buy them if we buy more. So
Great.
if we buy in bulk, that'll work better for us.
Seems cheaper for the people. Do you know what? Who needs a shout out for this is Chris, absolute legend. Sorted us out with our branding. We bought in a branding person for this. So Chris, massive thank you. We are obsessed, and it looks sick on a hat.
We won't go missing in a crowd, will we?
No.
You had a long day then?
Yeah. Long day and late night last night.
Was it good?
Because where was I last night, Matthew?
You were at Lakeview.
I was at Lakeview. I feel like I say this all the time, one of the best gigs I've been to.
I mean, the latest gig is always the best gig.
The latest gig is always the best gig, isn't it? But so Pitmarsh opened up. We've both had Pitmarsh on our shows, haven't we? Pitmarsh opened up and really got the crowd going. His audio was unfortunately and annoyingly for him and for us not great. Like, he's great, but he wasn't loud enough.
Oh.
It was giving. Do you remember? Did you see Redferrin at Long Road? At Long Road.
Not at Long Road, no.
It was giving. Like, it sounded a bit like when because it's any full sentence would do, wouldn't it? Pips is the same kind of setup. It's him and his drummer, which was what Redferrin does. And just the vocals weren't loud enough. But I mean, Pip can carry a crowd. Pip's been doing it for a long time, so he was absolutely fine. And the crowd were vibing with it. It wasn't like detrimental to the show, but it was just a bit like, oh,
that's a shame.
Disappointing. Yeah, a shame for him because he's good. And then Lakeview, they are so good live. They sound maybe even better than they do on their album.
Okay.
Their energy, I don't know where it comes from, but it's like, have you seen any of their stuff that they did with Breaking Benjamin? Have you seen any of the videos?
No, I've seen a few snippets of their tour, to be fair, and it looks like just I've seen mosh pits.
Yeah. So they've got like 2,000 people crowds, and they're putting on this massive like full stage show. And it was exactly the same. That was the show that they brought to a 200 cap venue in London last night. It was exactly the same as what I'd seen for the massive tour. It was honestly wild. I'm a rock chick now. Like, I'm in for it. I think we're calling it country core. Like,
right.
I believe that's what we're calling it, or like your alternative. I don't know if that's.
I've heard that.
Yeah, I don't know if that's catching on, but country core seems to be what we're calling it.
Okay.
But yeah, heavy but great. A little mosh pit broke out.
Okay.
Not for me personally.
Yeah, not one for being in that.
I've given myself the ick a little bit though, because the boys I was with took some videos. Obviously, everyone takes video at a gig, and I'm just like in the corner, like jumping up and down, and I'm a bit like, oh, that's embarrassing. So I've given myself the ick from that, but
you're having a good time. That's what
I had a
matters,
great
right?
time. I've never jumped up and down so much at a gig in my whole entire life. It's
Solid.
it's hard on your pelvic floor, let me tell you that, Matt. It made me need a wee.
Really?
All the jumping. I feel like maybe that's an age thing. I haven't got the pelvic floor to be a rock chick, but
No, it's not an age thing. Don't do this.
yeah, Lakeview were incredible. And then
Good.
they got everyone on the stage at the end. So they were like, we've got one more song for you. We're not going to do an encore because that's cringy or something. And then they just like pulled up everyone on the stage. And I was thinking like, do you regret that now?
Wait, what?
They just got as many people as they could on the stage.
Oh my God.
It was honestly nuts. Honestly nuts. So much fun. And then we stayed for a drink after, and once they'd like loaded and were packed up and stuff, they all came down. So like Pip came down and Jesse and Luke and the band came down. Just to like chat to everyone that was still sticking around. So that was really cool. I was like, Jesse, hi, I'm George. He's like, hey. I was like, I'm interviewing you tomorrow. He's like, great. And I was like, that's it. That's all I have to say.
Right.
So, but that was post tequila, which probably did not help.
I mean, it's probably better if it was post tequila, right?
Yeah, maybe.
It's always
Hard
the
to
best
say.
thing to do.
But then I interviewed them today. So went to the Gibson Garage.
Mm.
Great place. So you've got the Gibson guitar shop in London.
Mm.
Then kind of next door in the office blocks, they've got this like artist lounge. And Lakeview were going to do an acoustic set, but their voices were just shagged. I just choked on that word then. Yeah, absolutely shagged. So they were just doing like Q&A and an interview. So we had a little chat with them. Get this right, Pip bought them a like English care package of like English snacks.
Nice.
Bought them some crumpets, and they didn't have a toaster, so they ironed the crumpets.
I mean, makes sense to be fair.
Yeah, just ironed them. Do you know what though? Just two really nice guys from
Yeah.
like you see them on the stage like thrashing around and putting on this big show, and then you just chat to them, and they're so humble, and they're so grateful, like they're shattered. They've had no kind of like buffer time with the jet lag, so they've just been going full send since they got here. They're like sleeping at 4, up at 7, hitting the road. I mean, they've done Scotland, Manchester, London, and then they're heading out to Germany. Like, and like Luke was just saying, he's like, but it's the job, and this is what we work really hard for, and this is what we want. But I'm exhausted.
I mean, yeah, they earn their money.
Yeah, they're
They'll sleep at the end, right?
exactly. So, but no, they're super grateful. They're super nice. Just down to chat. Just love it. Okay, right, come on, let's get the lowdown on Roadhouse Weekender though, because that looks like a real great day.
It was good. It was it was packed, like it was sold out. And I said to Jack before, and I said, how many people are going to be here today?
Okay.
And my mouth was kind of like, are you joking me? Like 400 people are going to be here, like it's going to be like the biggest audience that I've been in front of. He had to turn away people at the door.
Really? Oh, that's disappointing.
I mean, if you see it's a sold out gig, why would you turn up on the door? But anyway, that's another conversation. And it's just funny because basically it was in middle of nowhere. Basically, Tenterden is such a small place, and next door, so it's actually next to like an old style vintage train line, and they're actually doing what they call a Santa special. So next door to this country gig, which was essentially in a big kind of old cow thing, I called it. We were inside a big tin of baked beans. I can't remember if I told you, but next door you had this train, and it was what they call a Santa special, where basically parents can take their kids on this train and Santa's on it. It's basically a train that looks like like the Hogwarts train.
Okay, interesting venue.
Yeah, but it was great. It was great, and yeah, it was just chaos in the end. People were having a very good time. Obviously, Woodburn Red were great. Jake was great. Spent most of the night with Jake and Jess, to be fair.
Undercover Cowgirl.
Undercover Cowgirl.
So for anyone who's listening who has maybe been living in a cave and doesn't know what Roadhouse is, what are you telling them, Matt? What do they need to know?
Roadhouse Weekender is next year, 4th to 6th of July, 2025. It's a brand new festival. And after the news that came out this week about Black Deer as well, this is potentially going to be huge for the south of England. Um, it's going to be the biggest country music festival other than C2C south of the M25 and the M4. Um, it is gonna make a storm. It's gonna cause some waves. It really is gonna make the other country music festivals in this country think a lot about
Mhm.
what they do next. The lineup hasn't fully been announced. The three waves of lineup of the announcements have been done. Another one happened at the weekend. Um, well, another two have already been announced. Drake White, Sophia Scott are on the list. There's also some independent artists coming over from the States that have been announced, um, alongside anyone and everyone you will ever know or need to see in the UK scene. Like you name it, they're there. Kezia Gill's there. Alyssa Bonagora, who is basically an adopted UK citizen now. Well, she's engaged. Did you
I
see?
was just gonna say,
She's got
got
engaged. Um,
like Tower Bridge or something.
yeah, classic,
Yeah,
brilliant.
love that for her.
Congrats, Alyssa. Um, Kezia Gill, first time flights. Like anyone UK worth seeing will be at this festival. It's as simple as that, and it's going to be huge. And in lead up to the festival, the guys at Roadhouse are putting on kind of well pop-up shows essentially. Um, and what Roadhouse are doing are they are causing a stir because they're supporting country music and they're doing it the right way. And I'm so glad that we're lucky to be able to be involved with them because this is exactly what we want to do. So, um, I was lucky enough to host the show in Kent in my home county, which was great because I've always thought, how good would it be to do a show in Kent? Because nothing happens. No one does shows because it's almost too close to London. They did a show in Brighton, which Chanel Yates played. Well, I should probably say who played the one in Kent, shouldn't I? Woodbert Red were there. I FaceTimed you when
You
Woodbert Red were
did.
on.
So I couldn't be there. I was at a party, and when that FaceTime came through, I ran outside. I was like, "Everyone, shut up!" Ran outside. I was like, "Day drinking."
I nearly passed my phone to Tom on stage, and I thought, could I do it? But it all got a bit rowdy and chaotic at the end. For I'll tell you in another time. But yeah, so that happened. Jake O'Neill was there. We had Nathan Leeser who was there, who lives in Oxfordshire, by the way.
Oh,
He's from
okay.
North Carolina, lives in Oxfordshire. Great,
Oh,
perfect. Um, then we had Joe West, who's a cover artist who's done crazy things on TikTok, and the Gamblers as well, who were a local Kent country tribute band, who were unreal, by the way.
oh, really?
Like unreal, like they could do anything, like anything, like from Zach Brown to Chris Stapleton to Carrie Underwood, they did it like
Oh,
literally,
okay.
yeah, big time. So yeah, they put on these little shows. They've just announced a new one for Kent, and I'm gutted because it's the day before I fly back from Jamaica. I could have bigger problems, I know. Um, they're doing two shows in Manchester, all before the festival happens in July. And Jack, the guy who runs it, is just someone who just loves live music, loves country music, and he thought, do you know what? I don't even want to do anything. I don't want anything from this. Like, I just want to give the people what they want
Yeah.
and give people different artists to see. Tickets are selling crazy. Like, I think tier three tickets now at the top. Well, on Saturday it was 98% sold out. Um, there's going to be a lot of people at this festival, and it's going to be the first time it's going to happen, and it's going to be crazy. And there's still huge international artists will be announced. I don't know who they are. I don't, but it's going to be big, and it's going to be they're bringing you people that you don't usually see at a festival because I think a lot in the last few years we've had a lot of kind of comments from fans that are saying they're all going to the same festivals and they're all seeing the same people.
Mm.
And what this festival will do is it will give you artists that you want to see and you need to see before potentially they get even bigger. Um, that's all I know, and that's what I'm going to say. But It's going to be one that you're going to want to be at. It's going to be an amazing day. Get your tickets if you haven't already, because to be honest, you're going to miss out. Um, yeah, it's crazy. Actually, before I forget as well, also at Roadhouse in on Saturday was they did a chili eating competition.
Oh, I
Now,
saw.
yeah, and Jack, when he messaged me, who runs Roadhouse, when he messaged me to ask me if I could host the event, I said, obviously, absolutely. And then he said to me, he said, "What you like with spice?" And I said, "Don't even go there." I was like, "What are you on about?" And he was like, we've got a chili eating competition." And I was like, "Not for me. I'm a korma guy. Like, I can't do it to myself." And I was like, "Are you doing?" And he said, "No, I'm lemon and herb all over." And I'm like, "Okay, we're on the same level here." I was like, "You can't make me do it, and I can't make you do it." To be
Hmm.
fair to him, he sat down there and he got through 3 or 4 rounds of chili eating.
Oh, did he do it?
Did it?
Did anybody throw up?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. Why did you do it to yourself?
I don't know. He didn't, to be fair, but he got up and he came straight over and he was just like,
Were people just like chugging milk after? Like,
yeah.
that's
It was
honestly sounds horrific.
it was chaotic, but great fun to watch. The one thing we did do as well, actually, which was I don't know if anyone's seen over the last couple of weeks or so, but there was um country music lost someone in the last couple of weeks here in the UK. Someone called Drew Burnett. He worked very closely with Wood Burnt Red, W21 Music. It was run by Pete, who you would have seen at the weekend doing his best and keeping that Saturday to a tight schedule and just working his magic. Drew worked very closely with them, photographing so many UK artists, well, artists in general. He was everywhere. Um, and yeah, we sadly lost him from the scene. Um, I think it was a bit of a surprise.
Hmm.
Um, Bless Pete, done amazingly to hold it together, and um, yeah, we did a little tribute to him just before Woodburn Red played the set, and made a little toast.
That's hard.
Um, but yeah, we were, yeah, it was a sad time, but it just shows, I think, how tight the community is and where we are, and there's lots to be proud of, and the people that are behind the scenes doing all the stuff that we see and may not even get recognition sometimes, they're the beating heart of it all, aren't they? So
For
yeah,
sure.
we did that little toast for him, and yeah, it was a great way to end the night, and with Burnt Red put on a good show as they always do in tribute. So yeah, but
So
crazy weekend.
get your tickets to the festival, but also get yourself to one of these pop-ups if you can.
Yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. I can't remember the dates of the Manchester ones, but they're definitely before the festival next year.
Okay.
And Georgia Rose is playing one of them.
Mm.
Pretty sure Katie Rigby's going to be at one of them as well.
We love those
Um,
girls.
it's gonna cause waves. It's a festival that really is gonna come head to head with
Long road.
the long road, because and when you look at the long road, how long it's been going on, and Roadhouse to come straight in and say, "Do you know what? We're going to do this and we're going to go big and we're not scared and we're going to have a good time."
Balin and Jack head to head. This doesn't take away from the fact that we are diehard Long Road fans as well, but we're very excited for another festival. Um,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
any elevation of country music is we're all going to benefit from. So even as fans, let's get it.
Indeed. Indeed. But yeah, I'm very tired. Actually, I had a beer that was called apple pie and it literally tasted like an apple pie. It was amazing.
That sounds dangerous.
Must admit, I had a couple. I don't know if you saw when I was interviewing Jake. That was what I was drinking there, and that was my second. And I thought, okay, I better slow down because I've got to go on stage in a minute. So I thought I had a few waters after that.
Your couple and my couple are very different.
Remember yeah, I think it's it's the north-south divide, isn't it?
The north-south divide is how many beers is a couple?
There's a difference, isn't there? There's
Yeah,
definitely a difference. I don't know. We'll have people here listening, watching potentially,
yeah.
who might be able to tell us what that means. But
If you've been out for a couple If you've been out for a couple, or if you've been out for a few, there's a difference there, isn't there? If you
I
go
mean,
out for a couple, you go out for a few, you go out, out.
all right, Mickey Flanagan.
That's
You did a
I
Cockney walk.
out and now I'm out. I
I
think
just popped out.
that's it. I just popped out. Now I'm
Yeah,
out.
I'm out. Yeah, no, it's
I actually think that is the trajectory. You go out for a couple, you go out for a few, you go out, out. Let's talk about an article that came out. I think it came out 3 days ago now.
yeah.
I've not seen much coverage of it. And I think we will get to the bottom of why. Is the Rolling Stones top 100 albums of the year. I sent you screenshots today, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
We'll start at the highest and make our way down to the lowest, as in like
The
closest.
highest, but the lowest number.
The highest, but the lowest, but
Yeah,
the lowest.
it's like golf.
Start at 100.
Lowest wins.
Lowest wins. Yes. Okay. So coming in at 95 is Co Wetzel with 9 lives.
Yeah.
What do they say? Co Wetzel has been a Texas country anti-hero for a decade now, but 9 Lives finally helped introduce the singer-songwriter to an audience outside the Lone Star State. Songs like 9 Lives, Black Cat are full of fuck around and find out energy. And Damn Near Normal both celebrates and laments a life on the road fueled by a little melatonin and a bag of weed. That song, I absolutely love that song. Fortunately, Casamigos is there to lighten the mood. It's the catchiest song written about agave since John Anderson's Straight Tequila Night. I don't know, Casamigos. Is that tequila? If we had a producer, they would fact check that for us right now.
Wait. Yeah, no one's in my ear.
Mega Maroney, 92 with Am I Okay?
This is big, I feel like.
This is huge. They said this is an album full of references to therapy, no caller ID, fears of dying alone, third time's the charm, and blasé, resignation, indifferent. There's even a mournful goodbye ballad, the devastating Heaven by Noon. But despite its heavy heart, Am I Okay isn't a dour project. Do you know the story behind Heaven by Noon?
Yeah,
Well, obviously we all do because we all listened to the Call Her Daddy podcast.
It is sad. It is very sad.
So I actually didn't connect with that song initially.
I didn't get it.
I didn't get it. Yeah. But now I know the story. Poor Megs. Okay.
Yeah, deep.
After that, we've got Charlie Crockett with $10 Cowboy.
Yeah.
I don't know anything from this album, do you?
Absolutely not. But this guy is being mentioned more and more in the scene. And it's crazy because this is probably said it before, we'll say it again, but there's so many names of artists that are outside that 20 list of artists you hear on a nominations list at the CMAs, like that are doing stuff and are in top 100 charts. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I need to get onto this. They said the lyrics on his 13th album. 13th album! Wow. Are a mix of honky-tonk hooks, phrases from drifters and gas station clerks, and stories written in the back of a bus as he went across the country. He comes in at 89, old Charlie Crockett, $10.
Well done, Charlie.
Then we go all the way to 79 with Deem the Artist. Now, I've heard that name kicking around, but haven't listened to any. How about you?
I haven't.
Were they over here recently? Were they at Long Road? I think they were at Long Road.
Beats me. I believe you if you say that they were. He was. They were. I don't know.
A soul deep meditation on aging, faded dreams, and global dystopia. Wow. Not light. That expands and brightens the East Tennessee songwriter's scope and sound. There's Tom Petty country, bluesy New Orleans, dirges, that's a word I've never heard before, and finger-picked folk. Most importantly, there are Adeem's stories, which are equally moving and convincing in their confrontation of American violence and racial hatred, and their intimate chronicling of parenthood and falling in love. Ooh!
You were right, by the way. He did play Long Way.
Okay.
Just Googled it.
Nice. I know things, don't I?
You do. You did well there.
Okay, that sounds like a heavy album.
Yeah.
But great. Then all the way down at 63 is Red Clay Strays.
You do like the Red Clay Strays?
I do. Another long roader. Their album, Made by These Moments. Whilst Red Clay Strays have been mostly associated with country or roots music since the release of their 2022 album, Moment of Truth, the new Made by These Moments veers more towards the hard blues rock of Los Angeles in the late 80s and early 90s than anything coming out of Nashville today. Tracks like The Ominous, Disaster, and the Roadhouse Boogie of Ramblin' evoke 90s bands The Four Horsemen and Junkyard, two LA groups that, while lumped into the fading MTV metal genre, were distinctly Southern rock in the sounds and influences.
They're going to get a lot of fans, I think, from just outside of the genre as well, I think, actually. Yeah, it's good.
Okay, we like it. Next up, Sierra Farrell at 60 with Trail of Flowers. So my friend actually texted me the other day and said, do you know Sierra Farrell? Because I can't stop listening to her music. She's amazing. And he sent me a song from this album, kind of like Irish folky almost. But absolutely phenomenal voice.
I can't say I've actually listened to Sierra, I have to say.
Very distinct, I'd say.
Which isn't good. People listening to us expecting this wealth of knowledge, and I can't give it to them right now about it. But I will listen to it. How about that?
Yeah, there you go. We'll take that. It mixes obscure pre-World War II covers, Chitlin Cooking Time in Cheatham County, with pointed socially minded laments, American Dreaming, with exuberant fiddle stomps. An exuberant fiddle stomp sounds fantastic.
That sounds... I've never heard that phrase before.
I might borrow that.
Exuberant fiddle stomp. Yeah,
with some of the catchiest country roots, melodicism. Do you know what? I like words, and I am learning a lot of words today.
Melodic. Stick it in your book.
Yeah, I will do. I Could Drive You Crazy. That is a great song.
Crazy.
Let's probably not do that again. 55 is the man of the hour, Shaboozey.
Good old Shabs.
We love Shabooz. We gave him a lot of love on the CMA episode.
We did.
Old Shabooz. Following his appearance on Beyonce's Cowboy Carter and featuring his summer hit, a bar song Tipsy, Shaboozey's second album melds hip-hop and country in a way that is deep and rich and never a novelty act. You know who else does that very well is Breland.
Yes. Yes. I was watching, what was it? The NBA have done like a behind-the-scenes kind of documentary thing with a few players on Netflix, and Breland featured on one of the episodes because he was recording a track with one of the players.
Oh my god, because he does like his predictions, doesn't he? He like sings have you seen that, what he does?
No.
Oh, so he'll do like, if there's like a big game coming up, I can only reference it in like UK terms. I don't know any American sport teams. What teams? So if there was like, I don't know, Manchester United versus Man City game, he'd do like a track and he'd be like, Beckham's going to score a goal. I know Beckham doesn't play football.
Beckham's not played football for a very long time, let alone Man United. But yeah, carry on. I see what you're going on.
So he'll be like, Beckham's going to drop a goal in the 40th minute. And he'll like make his predictions, but he'll do it in a song.
Yeah.
And he does it before every big game.
Yeah.
It's
but
really
cool. He was, I can't remember who it was, but he was, it was a basketball player, wanted to write music. He was coming to the end of his career, and Breland was around his house recording and producing this track. It was just, I was like, wait a second, that's Breland.
Love that.
Crazy.
So sorry, Shaboozey. Breland kind of stole your thunder a little bit there.
So no, very good year from Shabs.
Very good year from Shabs.
55. But the question is, he says, where I've been isn't where I'm going. So the question is, where the hell is he going?
Where is he going? Hopefully not very far.
Not very far, no. 47.
47. Miss Lainey Wilson.
Lady Wilson, it's been a whirlwind.
You haven't dropped any dad jokes yet, so
I thought that was quite reasonable.
that we'll allow it. Wilson has been steadily releasing catchy, punchy albums that mash up Southern rock, soul, and classic Nashville ideals into a genre that she's dubbed bell bottom country. On Whirlwind, her finely tuned lyrics and immediate hooks make the feelings she's singing about seem massive and ready to bring in any listeners for comfort, particularly on the arena-ready drinking lament. They really like the word lament. Bar in Baton Rouge and the Keep Your Head Up ballad middle of it. While Whirlwind has its more playful moments, it's at its best when Wilson is in full-on power ballad mode. Can't disagree.
I have to say, I prefer Bell Bottom Country. But it's a different vibe, and that's fine. We like that. We like that from Lainey. And Lainey's at the point now where already she is gonna bring out music, and people are gonna love it regardless. So cracking work, and she is now a globe on that scale now, where she is flying the flag for country music around the world. And I just really knocked my hat off. But yeah.
She is international.
Yeah.
And we love that for her and the genre. Next up, Johnny Blue Skies, Sturgill Simpson, Passage du Désir?
Désir.
Désir?
Désir? Is it French?
Désir. Unsure.
I'm not going to pretend to know this.
I am also not going to pretend to know it. But I feel like are they country?
I googled it actually, and yes.
Okay, great.
But yeah, well done, guys.
Props to you guys. Meta modern country sounds, it says. Lyrically, heavy with heartache, burdened by past mistakes, adrift in impossible dreams, and desperate for relief or at least some kind of escape. The despair runs deep, and Simpson delivers it with some of the most intriguing vocal performances of his career. If someone said my vocal performance was intriguing, I'd be like, so it was shit then.
It's like, yeah, so
But you don't like it then?
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, just sidebar, Tortured Poets Department only came in at 23 by Miss Taylor Swift.
Really?
Which, let's remember that when we dig deeper into
the Rolling Stone are critically acclaimed. Do you know what I mean? They're gonna, yeah. And again, to be fair, it's not my favourite Taylor album.
I think you'll be very interested to see who was number one.
Oh, I don't know. Okay.
3. I mean, what were the parameters of this?
Well, exactly.
I don't know.
All journalists.
No, but like, what makes it the best album?
Well, exactly. Well, judging by what's at number 2, clearly they have no idea. But anyway. Sorry, carry on.
Right. Number 12 is Mr. Zach Bryan. Now, obviously, big time in the media at the minute, but you can't deny the man is talented.
Yeah.
So his The Great American Bar Scene is his 5th record. His magic trick, to quote one of its many featured guests, Bruce Springsteen, is to make it seem like the life he sings about is still the one he's living. Ooh. Is that a dig? Unsure.
Are you able to just give a quick 30-second summary of what's been going on with Zach?
Am I? Zach's current feature in the news is he has broken up with what's her name? Brianna Chicken Fried. That's her name, isn't it?
I know. It just makes me laugh.
I believe he's cheated on her. I'm unsure. I haven't dug deep, but I know they are no longer together. And he has allegedly offered her 12 million to stay quiet about it. And she hasn't, because she has like a podcast anyway. Apparently not a nice partner.
Yeah.
There's 2 sides to every... What does Mitchell Tenpenny say? There's 2 sides to every breakup. One's a lie and one's the truth.
2 sides to every breakup. One's a lie and one's the truth. Why can't we meet in the middle? Call it truth.
With your mic as well. Like,
you keep telling lies about me. I won't tell the truth about you.
Stunning.
Did you enjoy that?
Johnny, you'll be on the Rolling Stone next year, I'm sure.
Why can't we meet? That bit of that, isn't it?
I am not cutting that. That is going in the podcast. Since Brian is such a, here's another new word I've learned. Preternaturally.
That's not a word.
No, Googled it. It is a word.
No.
I should have Googled how to say it. Hang on. Will it tell me? It means beyond what is normal or natural. Hang on, I'm just gonna get Google to say it for me. How do you make it talk to you? Okay, hang on, here we go.
Preternatural.
What's American? How do I do it? I want it in English. Okay.
Preternaturally.
Preternaturally.
Oh, yes, darling.
Preternaturally. Zach Bryan is a preternaturally gifted songwriter. His new album's premise is as convincing as it is absurd that America's most iron-heart rock star spends his time not on airplanes and in hockey arena green rooms, but traversing dirty dives with the boys, losing money to sketchy Philly bookies and staying up for sunrise on friends' apartment roofs. This kind of sounds like they don't like the album.
No.
But he's coming at number 12 anyway.
Well
Okay.
done. Well done, Zach.
Now, that's it for country until we get to number 2. I believe that's it for country. I didn't recognise any of the other names. I could be mistaken.
Well, you are right, though. That is the end of country.
Ooh, because if you haven't guessed, Beyonce Cowboy Carter comes in at number 2.
This is yeah.
Here's what they say. Cowboy Carter is a college dissertation of an album richly researched and meticulously constructed. Opening epic American Requiem is part gospel, part Queen, part Buffalo Springfield as the artist lays out both her intentions and lineage. And while she has something to prove to a whole musical community, it's more of a love letter to her southern roots than strictly a honky-tonkin' romp. Beyonce's point is made crystal clear by the time she reaches Amen. She is country and always has been country. There's no doubting that fact. Gatekeepers be damned. She makes her case from track to track.
I'm so angry with that statement.
Okay. I don't hate Cowboy Carter.
I know you don't.
But I know a lot of people do. I think the album, what it's done for artists of colour in the industry and, raising their profile, it's got Willie Nelson and Dolly Parton on it. If they can't sign, seal and deliver, then who am I to say it's not a country album? But it's got Beyonce's signature sound, which I don't listen to because I don't necessarily vibe with it. So that is why I don't listen to the album, but I don't think it's a bad album. Matt?
I agree with everything you just said.
Mm-hmm.
My issue is giving it this country platform, and it's just not. And this is where I feel like Post Malone has absolutely, can I say this? Has absolutely shit on Beyonce with his album. Because they've both come into this at the same time. And I know there's kind of a conversation about Beyonce saying this is a country album, people taking it as a country album. There might be some blurred lines within that, but the way it was brought across is that this was going to be a country album, and it just does not feel like that. And Post Malone has gone about it, and he's done what he's done. And I just feel like he's done it the right way. He's got Luke Combs on the album. He's got Blake Shelton on the album. He's got Morgan Wallen on the album. Like,
sorry, Matt, I'm just going to have to stop you there and remind you that you are talking about a white male and have just listed 3 other white males,
yes,
which in itself is an immediate elevation for that album.
Yes, of course.
Okay.
But what? But what I'm just thinking of is Beyonce. Yes, she's got Dolly. Yes, she's got Willie Nelson. But she could have, if she wanted to do that, the way Poster's done it, she could have gone and got whoever she wanted on that album.
Yeah. So she did.
But I just feel like it could have been more than what it was. Like Dolly, she'd done a version of Jolene.
Which people need to stop doing, by the way. Can we stop?
Yeah,
Can we stop re-releasing Jolene?
yeah. But she changed the words, and like Dolly was on the album, but she didn't sing. Willie was on the album, he didn't sing.
Yeah. I think a lot of people have taken umbrage with the way it was introduced and marketed as like a clapback almost to the community, as she felt she was rejected or snubbed or not welcomed back when she performed with the Chicks. So she's kind of gone, well, middle finger, I'm gonna do it anyway. Like I can do it too. And didn't make any secret about that. Like that was well known that she was releasing this album as like a retaliation almost, and I think that rubs people up the wrong way.
I mean, the opening bars of Texas Hold'em, I just can't listen to that. But it's just it's been overplayed, hasn't
Oh,
it?
100%. 100%. But you can't deny that is a country bop, like a country pop song.
Yeah.
And that has brought country to a lot of people who wouldn't have listened to it. Cowboy Carter is a gateway album for sure to like people who listen to Beyonce but haven't got into country. It's kind of like, okay, this has whet my appetite a little bit. Where can we go from here? And she's done so much for opening those doors for people. She's done so much for Black country artists that need more radio play. Like we don't necessarily take to the music because we don't hear it. We're listening to Luke Combs, Morgan, like that's what's on the radio. So she's done a lot for exposure, which is long overdue.
No, I agree. Yeah, Tana Adele, Shabuzi, great, fantastic, appreciate that. But yeah, no, I just don't like the way it was all kind of constructed, and what do I know? I wouldn't have put it at 2, but then again, I don't work for Rolling Stone, and here I am. But it is what it is.
Yeah. Anyway, the end. Do you want to know who number 1 was?
Yeah.
So number 1 was Charlie XCX with Brat.
Interesting.
I mean, this whole Brat summer has passed me by. Like, I don't get it. I don't understand.
I don't get anything that is non-country nowadays. That's my problem.
Exactly. So
except Dua Lipa
or Sabrina Carpenter.
Who is kind of, she's playing a little bit with the old country.
Came in at number 4. Yeah, Slim Pickens. I love a bit of Slim Pickens because let's be honest, it is Slim Pickens.
Yeah.
And I guess I probably will die alone. So
some of the stuff. Sorry, this isn't country. Well, it is kind of. Sabrina Carpenter, by the way, really does get close to the line, doesn't she?
I don't know where you were going with that sentence then. Couldn't have gone anywhere. Yes, and you know what? She's a very clever lyricist, and I feel like that is the heart of country music, is the words. She's very, very clever.
Very intelligent.
Yes.
She knows what she's doing, and she's bloody smashing it.
We've got a busy schedule coming up with gigs, Matt. What have we got going on?
Kelsey Ballerini. Saturday.
I am
Look at me.
Jealous. Oh, the Queen.
Queen KB.
Queen KB. I'm at my work's Christmas do.
And you can't make it.
I can't make it. And when I went on Spotify and saw I liked 69 of her songs, I was like, God, I am obsessed. So Queen KB, and then I'm at Cameron Marlowe on the
KM.
3rd. Queen KB and King KM. When he does Over Now, it is what it is and it ain't what it was. I'll be streaming.
Finally, we got you singing on this podcast.
Who sings better, Matt or me?
Should we just record a version of Strangers for him?
We can't be friends.
Friends,
We
we
can't
can
be
be
lovers.
lovers.
We can't be. We can drink it later. Children. I think a vein popped out then.
Like, you gave it some there. You gave it some.
You've been listening to Chatter Hoochee, a 65 country podcast.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow us on Instagram, 65.country.
See you next week.